Liberté pour la Palestine. I am French. Liberté pour la Palestine. Free Palestine. Algerian people. I like New York. I like Muslim of people. I like New York. I like Palestine. Free Palestine. Liberté pour la Palestine. Thank you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I just ran because I was late to come here. Excuse me if I've been, We are here in solidarity to our brothers and sisters in Palestine. We are thousands of miles away, but our heart beats with the heart of our Palestine brothers and sisters. Your sorrow is our sorrow. We love the way you're fighting the most terrorist regime in the world. We know in 70 years they have reduced Palestine to only 15%. They took 85% of Palestine by might and by force. And we are also mad on the corrupt media of the Western nations, which they never show the true picture of the most oppressive nation in the world. What we saw in Ramadan, in the mosque of Al-Aqsa, they were praying. They were not demonstrating. They were praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the holy days of Ramadan. And what we did, we saw some rogue cops coming and shooting, tear gassing, and the way they throw the bodies in a way that just like a sack of a meat. How can we forget the old lady which was hurt in a way that she broke her arm? Only have to say one thing to that lady. Wish you would be Ukrainian. If you would be from Ukraine, maybe media would cover you. But you are from Palestine. They do not want to show the pictures, which is shown by the public, will be outraged about the action of that army of the most oppressive nation of the world. We also condemn the Muslim leaders, those who are quiet, those who are looking and watching the scenes and not saying a word in the favor of Palestine. The struggle they have done for 70 years, a nation which have no army to defend, they have no arms to defend themselves, they have blockade, they cannot go through the water, they cannot come through the air, and they cannot come to the land. What kind? They are living in a jail, an open jail without any covering for them. They cannot travel in their own land without asking for permits from these corrupt and torturous nation of the world. But everyone is quiet and keep quiet and not even saying a word against this aggression which has been taken for 70 years. One day, we hope, inshallah, the day is not too far when the Palestinians it will be free and there will be a nation like any other nation in the whole world. And also, we also, on this, we cannot ignore the flight of young people who have been bombed day and night without any resistance. What did they do? Okay, Palestinians did something wrong, according to them, but what about them? They did nothing wrong. They came to the house and they bombed them all overnight. This is the way the world is. But the Muslim world, especially the Muslim leaders, I'm not talking about the public, I'm not talking about the masses, we're talking about the rulers, those who are keeping their eyes closed, and they're all afraid that if they do not support the Western, they will lose their seats, and shame for them. And also the media too. The media, you have the right to cover everything the way it is happening. Do not sugarcoat, and this is a clash. If one single baby or a young child take a stone from the ground and defend himself, it becomes a clash. It becomes a very, very bad thing. Oh, the resistance throw the stone on us because you are bombing them, you are killing them, you bullet them. And also, we cannot forget the support them all the time. The courage of the lady called Rachel, which gave her life defending the land of Palestine, defending the home of the Palestinian people. And in the end, I was just going to say, today, tomorrow, we have a right, we have to come here to raise our voice. Maybe it is not enough, but we have to do it our part. And inshallah, Allah will give us success in one day. Inshallah, we'll see Palestine in a free land.
Palestine will be freed by any means necessary. Palestine will be freed by any means necessary. Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free
By any means necessary.
by any means necessary.
Please give it up for our next speaker, Pippa Bartolotti.
Thank you everybody. Thank you for having me. I'm from Britain, as you can probably tell. And I have perhaps a slightly different perspective on the matter, because it was Britain who had the mandate for Palestine, who capitulated under the Zionist gangs and gave Palestine away. It is a blot on the stain of the nation that I was born into. We have a huge responsibility for the agony of Palestinians, not here, but around the world. It is not just an honor, not just a pleasure, but it is a privilege to speak up for the oppressed wherever we see it. It is not just an honor, it is not just a pleasure, it is a privilege to wear a kafir. And we should be proud that we are together today with one voice, because what is happening in Palestine is unconscionable. I've been to Gaza. I've seen what it's like. I've seen the air. I've seen the drones. I've seen the warships patrolling the shore and shooting at the little fishing boats, trying to get just something for the family to eat. I've seen the borders where even they will shoot at the donkeys from across that fence. I've seen the young men wounded, the young men with shrapnel in their heads. I've written about these things in some of my books. So let us take this privilege we have and use it, not just here today, but every day. Let us not shirk from this label we will be given of being anti-Semitic when we are not. We are humanity together. It is not anti-Semitic to criticize the strategy of the Israeli regime. It is not anti-Semitic to stand up for Palestinians in their collective punishment, their illegal collective punishment, their illegal apartheid. Israel has become a racist state. It was always the plan. And a racist state will always be a problem to its neighbours, and she'll have no friends. I would submit that although Britain carries a large responsibility for giving Palestine away to the Zionists, the USA carries the modern responsibility of keeping it supplied with arms and with money. The regime is propped up with the taxes of good people in this city and around this country. We must stop arming Israel. We must stop paying lip service to politicians who only want to take money from Zionist funders. We all together must take a stand, not just today, but every day. Because while the world is looking at Ukraine and the terrible things that are happening there and the lies we are told about Ukraine, the eye is off Palestine, and yet Gaza is being bombed almost every day. So take it as a privilege to stand up for the oppressed everywhere. Take it as your individual privilege to do what you're doing today and do it every day. And let's all together take a stand and stop arming Israel. Thank you.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
And we will free Palestine!
We will free Palestine!
Within our lifetime!
In our lifetime!
Resistance is justified!
This is justified!
When people are colonized!
People are colonized!
Once again, my name is Nardin Kiswani, and I'm speaking on behalf of Within Our Lifetime, United for Palestine. We are a revolutionary Palestinian community organization revitalizing the spirit of revolution of Palestinians in exile. And we stand here with you today on the last Friday of Ramadan, the day that we always commemorate Al-Quds Day. On the day that we always commemorate Al-Quds Day. Today at dawn, the last Friday of Ramadan in Palestine, the occupation forces stormed the Al-Aqsa mosque compound, something that they were doing every single Friday, almost every day, something that Palestinians are used to year after year as we try to partake in our religious and our cultural practices. Whether it's fasting, whether it's praying at Al-Aqsa Mosque, or whether Palestinian Christians who are trying to attend the Sepulchre Church for Easter, we are routinely denied access to our religious sites because it is being controlled by an occupying force that does not have the right to be there to begin with. They stormed the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, occupied the rooftops of several buildings, and fired rubber-coated steel bullets, stun grenades, and tear gas canisters, injuring 42 Palestinians, over 20 of whom were hospitalized. In the week between April 15 and April 22nd, Israeli occupation forces raided Al-Aqsa 7 times, resulting in over 170 Palestinians wounded and 450 arrested,
Palestine!